Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about the creatures of Kirby's Dream Land 2. Starting off with Bouncy, in this game for some reason it was called Bouncy Tie. So this was an interesting case because normally most of the newcomers of this game never show up again, like for the most part, like they rarely show up again. But Bouncy is a glaring exception because they became a mainstay in the Kirby series. They've been appearing like almost every single game after Dream Land 2. So here you can see a bunch of examples. The purple one that you can see, that's from Drusha in Canvas Course. She can apparently like make bouncies and they appear purple, so like she can summon them. Something interesting is that they've always been showcased as having 3 like bouncy thingies, like springs, I guess. But only in the artwork of the first game of Dream Land 2, they are shown having 4 springs, even though the sprites of the same game only have 3. Here you can see them in, the first one you can see is the 3D model, the first 3D model of them from Return to Dreamland. And then on the middle, you can see them in Rainbow Curse, in the clay art style. Fun fact, in this game, the description says that they really like being up high, and that's why they like bouncing, because, you know, up there, like, there's nothing that can bother them. So there's nothing gonna keep, there's nothing keeping them down, basically. And then on the circle side, oh yeah, by the way, I'm like making a new thing where like instead of saying left and right because that gets confusing, I just say the square side or the circle side, which you can see a little square on the left and then a circle on the right. So that should work out. Anyways, on the circle side, you can see like what appears to be only the head of Bouncy. So in Kirby's Block Ball, when you hit Bouncy, their head pops out from, you know, the spring. So I guess it's implied their actual body is just an orb, and they just like get on top of this mechanism, of this contraption. Alright, now we go to Blade. So this is from like a trio of very interesting enemies. So you look at this guy and you immediately think, okay, this guy clearly gives sword, right? Like the sword ability. But here's the thing, sword is not an ability in Dream Land 2. And the Blade cannot even be inhaled. So even if there was sword in Kirby Dream Land 2, you wouldn't be able to get it from this guy because he cannot be inhaled. Like he's basically like, I don't know, I guess he's just too heavy or something is the implication. And he comes with other 2 guys, being Butch, which is the same thing but with an axe. And this design bears a lot of resemblance with the little guy that you can see on the bottom, which is Axe Knight, one of the Meta Knights. So it's interesting that they did the design idea of having a guy with a skull mask wearing an axe twice. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's something that I'm missing out on, but like, yeah, it's interesting that they did that twice. Masher. So Masher is the third one from this trio, also cannot be inhaled and stuff. But this one has an interesting history. Well, I mean, they first started having like a flail. Like it's just a big orb with iron spikes, but with a chain. So you can like, you know, like it's movable. And then that was it from him in Dream Land 2. We never saw them again until Kirby Planet Robobot came out in 2016. In this, there's a minigame called Kirby's 3D Rumble, in which he makes an appearance for some reason. Surprise appearance. So he's back, but instead of a flail, it is a Morning Star. So, you know, it's like a staff that he swings. And in this game, like not only did he came back in this game as kind of like a boss, but he came with new versions. So there's Mini Masher and Mega Masher, a smaller and bigger version respectively. I really like the way the colors look, and Mega Masher has a shield added as well. Yeah, nobody ever saw this coming, ever. Like Masher coming back, and not only coming back, but like bringing in like new like variations on their design. So yeah. There's Co-Kracko, or Little Kracko. It's just like, you know, I mean, you can tell it is like a baby Kracko, like a little son version of the big Kracko, which you can see in the bottom. I really, really like Co-Kracko. Like, just look at the guy. It's just like, you compress a cloud in the tiniest amount you can, but it's still like make them Kracko. They only have 4 spikes, and like, it's just like a little orb. I've always loved them. In this fight, the way it happens is that like, they pop out of the clouds, and it looks really cute. Yeah, they're just adorable. The name Little Kracko comes specifically from Kirby's Epic Yarn, which is the third one that you can see in this image, where they're made out of yarn and buttons. Sadly, they haven't made a reappearance for a while. Like their last appearance was in Kirby's Epic Yarn. But like they have not come back ever since, and I think it's really great. Even though Kracko has come back, Co-Kracko has not been seen. I do hope we see them again because like they're just adorable. Elieel. So this is a funny guy. This is like it's just very interesting because like they're just an enemy, right? They're just an enemy. They're just a random enemy in Kirby's Dream Land 2. They come out of pipes. You have to avoid them, and that's it, right? But then in Dreamland 3, they come back, but they're like a completely different role. They're now an ally, one of the friends. And like not only is it an ally that you have to help to get a heart star, but specifically they host a mini game. So you wanna play with them. Like this little guy just wants to play with you. So they hide there's a bunch of pots, and they hide in them. And you know, like they like move the pots and stuff, and you have to like guess where Elieel is basically. So I actually like that. I guess the character arc, if you can call it that, where like it used to be like a regular enemy, and then in the next game they were a friend that just wanted to play with you. And then the next appearance was in Kirby's Toy Box in the pinball game. For some reason they appear here. Interestingly, even though Dreamland 3 set their colors to be blue, they appear as black. And there's a bunch of them, and they're just there for you to like, you know, like I guess knock them over or something. But it is very interesting that they chose Elieel as a pinball hazard. There's Floaty The Drifter, which is also a very strange enemy. So it's like a parasol, but you know it has an eye. What's interesting is that in Kirby's Dream Land 1 there was already like an evil parasol enemy. It just didn't have a face. So that you can see it in the bottom, like you know that parasol without eyes in the bottom. That's the one from Dreamland 1. So that one would like home in on you, like after a Waddle Dee would like drop them. They would home in on you, and they were kind of scary actually. They were very scary. And then I guess like they wanted to make that like a solid enemy. So they made Floaty The Drifter. But what's weird that Floaty The Drifter doesn't really fly a lot, even though it's a parasol. As you can see the GIF, they just fall, they just like jump around a bunch. They do sometimes like jump in and like swoop down on you. But like once they do that, they just leave. So they don't do a lot. It's weird. And they also can appear with Waddle Dees. Like Waddle Dees will be like hanging on from them. But as soon as the Waddle Dees touch the ground, Floaty The Drifter will just like float up. Like it won't even try to attack you at all. It will completely ignore you. So very, very, very interesting because like they made an enemy from the idea of having an evil parasol, but this parasol is way less evil than the actual evil parasol from Dreamland 1. That was not a proper character. Okay, oh my god, okay, this guy is huge. Propeller, or Propeller Bomb as it was called in this game. This guy is just weird. It's just so weird. There's so many things going on with this guy. So first off, in the first appearance, as you can see, they only have one like blade in the propeller, which I really like because basically it was a way to make him like show us as movement, because they didn't have like proper movement. Also, wait, hey, no, wait, where's the GIF? Oh, there's the GIF. So basically, I didn't know I put that. Whatever. So basically, it was a way of like showing movement with like a few frames. So they just had one blade going side to side. So yeah, even in the artwork, they showed that. After this, wait, well, hold on. Before I keep going for the next experiences. So in this game, they basically, they're a shield. Like if you're alone, if you're on your own, if you're just Kirby, they're just like hovering in place there, and like, you know, with that like calm expression. They don't care about you. They're shield. But if you so much as there as having an animal friend, either Kine, Rick, or Ku, they will become evil and they will home in on you and explode on your face. If they explode on your face, your animal friend is just gone. Like they instantly die. And the thing is that like they're really, really fast, and like it's really hard to like escape from them. So if you have an animal friend, the best method to like keep that animal friend is to have eyes, because for some reason eyes is their weakness. Like every other attack, like it takes multiple hits for them to get to like disappear, but only eyes like insta kills them. So yeah, weird guy. And then they came back in Kirby's Dream Land 3, where now they hatch from X for some reason. So you go around and you see this X, and from this egg, a propeller of a random color will appear. So as you can see on the circle side, there's a bunch of different colors, and each color corresponds to a different animal friend. So basically, if you have Rick, and from an egg hatches a yellow propeller, they will become evil and do everything in their power to stop you. Well, I mean, actually, all the propellers are kind of evil by default, but only if they're like the matching color of the animal friend, they will attack it like really fast. Like normally they just move very slowly, but if you have Rick and the yellow propeller comes out, they will be really fast and really scary. Fortunately, this time they don't insta kill the animal friend, so that's a relief. But they're super scary. So yeah, but if a blue propeller comes out of the egg and you have Rick, then you know it's chill. Like the propeller will just move very slowly. So yeah, as you can see, blue propeller for Kine, brown for Nago, black for Ku, pink for Choo-Choo, and then for some reason, I guess I don't know why, because like they could have easily programmed a third color. I mean, another color. I mean, there's no green propeller, but for some reason, Peach, there's no propeller that attacks Peach. So basically, all the propellers like love Peach regardless. There's nobody out for Peach. So yeah, he's beloved by all. Then the next experience was Kirby 64, where in this time they don't actually change expressions. They're always like, you know, just have a neutral expression. And for some random reason, they give eyes, even though they have nothing to do with eyes. Like they don't even attack with eyes or anything, or like cold or anything. They just randomly give eyes, which is funny given that was their weakness in Dreamland 2. But yeah, that's it. As you can see, like every time they appear, it's kind of strange, and I love that a lot. The next, yeah, I mean that was last time we saw of them for a while, and then they came back in Planet Robobot, when they came back as actual, you know, robots. So as you can see, they have like a very cute robot face, and when they became evil, they also became like an evil robot face kind of deal. I really like the way that the eyes are shaped in their evil form, like with LED pupils. And then in Star Allies they came back, but like did they? Cause like they're now just like the most normal enemy you'll ever see. Like they're just there. Like you just get near them and they will instantly become evil and like chase you. They're functionally the same as the Scarfies, really, except like without inhaling. So yeah, it's just weird that like they're now normal. I really hope they have something weird next game. Spikey. So, wait! I have to come back. Oh, this is gonna be a terrible mess in editing, right? Whatever. But I have to mention that in Kirby's Block Ball, they also make an appearance. And in that game, they give the Changer ability. I guess it's an item. Basically, it just randomizes. It just gives you a random ability. So yeah, it's just also weird that like in a game, they gave a random ability, where they never gave abilities before. So yeah, Spikey, just you know, just a very simple guy. He's just a little guy. I really like how stubby the arms look. They have no mouth. They're just a little guy, little hedgehog guy. They made an appearance in Twitter art for the Year of the Rat. So I guess hedgehogs are kind of rats. I mean, well, they're not rodents, but in Japanese, as far as I understand, like the word for hedgehog is kind of like spiky rat. So they're kind of like, you know, they're commonly known as rats. Alright, so here comes an interesting section. So this is gonna be the end of the enemies, in a bit, like the regular enemies. But I wanted to talk about something strange that happened in this game. There's a few enemies that have slightly different names from their previous appearances. So Pengy, which you can see on the circle side, is an enemy that debuted in Kirby's Adventure. But then in this game, there's a character called Master Pengy, which I guess is it implied to be the same character? But I mean, they do behave the same and they give the same ability. But as you can see, they look kind of different, especially in like their beaks and eyes. Like Master Pengy's beak on the square side is much smaller, whereas Pengy's is more like a pelican's beak. So it's very interesting that like this happened. Like they're technically the same character. Because like their names are basically the same and they do behave the same, but there is a difference in design that does not add up. So same with Sir Slippy. So in this game, Slippy, which debuted in Kirby's Adventure, is called Sir Slippy. So I guess, I don't know, they became knighted by some sort of kingdom. Who knows what heroic actions they did. But yeah, they became a knight, I guess. And they are much cuter as well. Like look at the guy on the square side. He's just like a little blob with very cute eyes. On adventures, you can see like they have legs and like like more pronounced legs. Their eyes are also way more pronounced. I feel like the difference in design is like very like drastic enough for them to be like just it's strange. It's just strange that like did we not get not only do we get like a slight redesign, but also like a different name. So the jury is still out whether it's supposed to be a different character. And then this one is kind of like the strangest case because Sir Kibble in the circle side debuted in Kirby's Adventure. They give the card ability. Everyone knows them. They're amazing in the Kirby series. However, in Dreamland 2, their name is Lord Kibble, slightly different. And the thing is that their design is also slightly different. In this game, like their visor is like separate from the rest of their head. Like there's a head with a very solid like square visor, I guess. And this design kept on going in Dreamland 3 and Kirby 64, even though in those games they're back to be called Sir Kibble. But it's interesting that there is a difference in design that matched up with when their name got changed. As you can see on the circle side, the design and adventure, like I guess their visor is just like a hole that is part of their body, you know, instead of being like a one part that just gets stuck on the head. And this is a design that has been going on, you know, ever since, like in modern times. So I guess like, you know, it's just interesting that there is a change in design. And now, you know, people were saying, oh, you know, it's whatever, like it was only like a mistake or whatever, and you know, the difference in design is just a coincidence. But then Kirby's Dream Buffet came out in 2022, and there's a cookie that you can unlock there. And the cookie, as you can see on the square side, it is called Pixel Lord Kibble, as in Lord Kibble from Dreamland 2. This sprite is from Dreamland 2. So I guess the implication is that the one from Dreamland 2 is a different guy called Lord Kibble, and the rest is Sir Kibble. Again, the jury is still out. It's just very strange, but it's also very interesting. Blocky. Yeah, this is just a cute guy. They're pretty straightforward, but I don't know. There's something very charming about their face. Like the very like square smile and very cute like pitch black eyes. I don't know how they made it to be like completely pitch black eyes. Look very, very cute. Their artwork in Dreamland 2 is oddly red and like sad. It is weird. Even though in the game they did have like they were just bluish and have like the square smile. So yeah, they were in this game. They were in Dreamland 3, where they were given like a nice texture, I guess. They've been in Mass Attack in the pinball minigame. And then that was about it. But then they became like a renaissance of Blocky in the modern age. After Return to Dreamland had Mondo, they like went back to Blocky, but now with a new redesign. So now they have like different colored bricks on their edges, which I really like. They're much angrier, however. Like they completely lost that beautiful square smile, which I love so much. But they're still pretty cute. As you can see in the middle, there's like the DX version in Triple Deluxe, and then on the circle side, that's their like I guess a slightly robotized version. It's not really robotized. They just put in some screws on the side of the heads. That's from Robot. Captain Stitch. So this is a very interesting like creature because like they seem to like have made a boss version of the Gordos. So like I guess the King Gordo, whatever. So it's just a Gordo that is slightly bigger and angrier, definitely angrier. And they can shoot their spikes, which is very interesting because no Gordos can ever do that. So what's weird is that like I mean if this is like a big like this guy's like a big deal in the Gordos, I guess. But it's weird because like this is the only Gordo that you can defeat. Because when they throw their spikes, they become vulnerable because there's nothing protecting them. So you can grab their spikes. You can actually get the needle ability from them, and then you can also throw them back at them. So it's just like their own gimmick of being able to throw their spikes is what makes them weaker than their regular Gordos. So yeah, kind of ironic. Efreeti, I love this guy so much. This is one of my faves from this game. There's just like a little like burnt out suit, I guess. They kind of look like when cartoons, when like when cartoon characters like explode or something, and their head just ends up looking like a bunch of like, you know, like this, exactly like this. literally just like a explosion with little beady eyes. And they have very like long red legs. I feel like that combination of red and black just looks really nice. And they can like use burning both sideways and like diagonally downwards, in which they look like a meteor, which is very, very cool. This was, I guess, I kind of wish, I mean, not wish. Okay, so there's another appearance of Efreeti, that I wish wasn't the way it was. You know, like, I'm glad Efreeti was not stock in Dreamland 2, but I kind of would have preferred it. Because I do want them to come back, but the next part was, the next game we saw them was in Kirby's Toy Box, where they did something strange. So basically, they just took Efreeti and put like a giant contraption of a spiral thingies on his body, where like little Kirby balls would be thrown, and the minigame basically is like you want to get Kirby in one of the holes, but you know, the closer to the center the hole is, the more points you get. It's just absolutely wild to me that they use Efreeti for this. Like, why? And like, look at the way the spiral like kind of like goes behind his hair. You know, like the implication is that it like this is a solid thing, like this is a solid object that is being like placed on top of Efreeti. But for some reason, his eyes are like disgustingly like you know, like they're barely fitting in the holes in between the spirals. Like that feels like it would be very, very painful. And the worst part for me is the way they made the feet look. Like it looked like they're very like large clown shoes made out of rubber, and they look painfully like tight. Yeah, I just really don't like this sprite, but I kind of like had to talk about it. But yeah, anyways, I do hope Efreeti comes back in a modern game. That would be awesome. I would pog so hard. Jumper shoot. So this guy is interesting. It's literally just like, you know, it's basically it's based on a yokai, and it's just a, you know, it's just a guy that shoots. They're like high. I don't know what the names of these shoes are, but they basically just spin around as an umbrella and sometimes drop in their shoe. The boss design of this one is kind of like really bad, because like sometimes you would get like, if you get bad luck, they would just spin in place and never throw the shoe, so you would never be able to like take ammo to defeat them. So a bunch of time I would just get stuck on this boss for a while, until like I got the good luck. And then the only other interesting thing about this guy is that in the artwork they're shown to have 3 toes, but ever since afterward in the game and in the rest of the of Dreamland 3, they only have 2 toes. Master Green! Okay, back to something that I love so much. Master Green is another very beloved character of me. They're just like a cute little jellyfish. There's a lot going on. I mean, as you can see, like, the first thing that you think of is that they're called Master Green, but they're clearly yellow. We don't know. We have no idea what's up with that. It seems to be on purpose, because like they keep showing them in different colors that are not green. I mean, like, there was a Twitter artwork where they're kind of greenish, but not really. But yeah, they're just like sappy with electrical powers. They can like throw in lightning, and they sometimes can summon a star for some reason, and it just looks very cute. They just summon the star, and like they look like they're very hyped to throw the star. They appear in Find Kirby, where they shock Kirby, as you can see on the circle side. Waiu. So this guy's like a ninja, like literally just a straight up ninja. Like, I mean, a cartoonist ninja, of course, but it is kind of like just a ninja. And they were like, you know, that was it for a while. I never thought I would see them again, because like they're kind of strange as a Kirby design, because they're like very humanoid. They're very much a human, especially in the artwork where they have like fingers. But then in Kirby Star Allies, they come back kind of like playable, you can say, because Elieel can like ride on them, and you know, you can attack as Waiu, and like they throw shurikens and stuff. You basically become that same mid-boss. So yeah, they came back suddenly. Okay, another very weird case. Nruff Nelly. So this is a boss from Dreamland 2. It was both of them. Basically, Nruff is the big guy, and Nelly is the small one. Nelly, being the small one, also has like stripes, which is a reference to how baby boars, like in real life, they are striped, but as they age, they lose those stripes, and they became one solid color. So basically, Nruff is the big guy. There was only one of them, and then Nelly, it was a small guy with stripes, and there were many of them. right? Is that clear, right? But then, for some reason, Nruff became a mainstay enemy. But like, look at his design now. He's more like Nelly than Nruff. And not only is he smaller, he also gained the stripes of Nelly. And also, there's many of them instead of just one. So it's very strange that they decided to like take a boss and turn him into a real enemy, but they kind of like switched up which one was which. Like they could have easily just made Nelly a real enemy, and then that would have not, been weird at all. Like that makes sense. Nelly was like I guess there were many of them in the boss fight, and they were small. It made sense. But no, they completely I guess retconned who Nruff was, or like what Nruff could be. But yeah, it's okay because I do love Nruff a lot. Nruff a lot. They have a very cute design. And most importantly, they became rideable. Waddle is ride them into battle, and they look very, very cute. They've been in 3D, and ever since they became in 3D, not only can Waddle ride them, but if they bonk on a surface, the Waddle just keep going, and it's also very funny. I'm just really happy they became a mainstay. Oh, and something very important is that in the 3D, their schnoz became very, very large. Look at that nose; it is very boopable. Sweet stuff. Another one I like a lot, just because it's so weird. As you can see, there are there's an anglerfish. But the name, Sweet Stuff. So it's kind of strange. I don't think people are like 100% sure on this, but it seems to be some sort of pun on I guess some food item based on anglerfish. But yeah, he just ended up being called Sweet Stuff in English, which is very funny, because I guess he's just the sweetest guy ever. Maybe he's very nice. He's a boss, and he throws in some sapping electricity stuff, but also throws in. Oh wait, never mind. Wait, before that, actually, yeah, hold on. Okay, so Sweet Stuff appear in Mass Attack as a cameo in the RPG minigame. They appear in Twitter artwork, and very importantly, they appeared in Find Kirby, where, as you can see, they have Kirby inside their mouth, just like they do with Kine. So it's kind of like Sweet Stuff wants to be an animal friend, and I'm here for that. I fully support that. I think Sweet Stuff should be an animal friend. He's beloved, as you can see. A little Kirby's even climbing on top of him. So as you can see, yeah, he's very sweet. So Sweet Stuff throws these guys called Tincell. We don't know why, but they can create, I guess, these little star guys. And they just shoot them at you. They're literally just a starfish with an eye, but they're very charming just because they're weird. Ice Dragon. This was a classic. So this guy, just look at him. He looks like a perfect plushie. Very, very adorable. It's kind of sad that he's only called Ice Dragon. I do wish he had a more unique name. But who cares? When you look at him, everything's perfect. He's a boss, and he can fly with his tail somehow. He can throw icicles at you and ice cubes. He only appeared in Dreamland 1, in Dreamland 2 and Dreamland 3, and then made a slight cameo in the Draw Kirby minigame in Kirby Superstar Ultra. And that was that was basically it for a while. And most people thought yeah, that was it. But then another renaissance. Kirby Planet Robot came up, and we got Ice Dragon in the shape of a hologram from Defense API, a Holo Defense API, one of the bosses. So not only did we get an Ice Dragon fight again, we also got another design in the form of Ice Dragon 2.0, because Holo Defense API has a 2.0 version, and they have they really kind of changed the design. Not only do they have a diamond pattern on their bellies, they have they're stegosaur spikes got extended and became a different shape, and I really like how they look. I really like this design. And then on the circle side, as you can see, Ice Dragon himself in the flesh came back in the game Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. They're now an actual boss fight, they're their own fight, and that's them in the flesh. It's not a hologram, it's the real deal. And yeah, they're back. And just like that, they're back. And since then, yeah, it's kind of being an Ice Dragon kind of world. It's Ice Dragon world. We're just living in it. they became playable, basically playable in Star Allies with Ados Painter. You know, she can like summon him and ride him, and he can do basically everything that he could in his boss fight. And then even more, we got plushes of him in the form of the Roly Poly Friends line of plushes. Look at him. He's so freaking cute. I told you, like, you look at him and you're like, okay, that's a perfect as a plushie. And so they did that. They took that to heart and they did that. And then he also had like his own desert themed after him in Kirby Cafe. You know, as you can see, like he has like a little like ice cream thingy, and they put in like a little artwork of him, and he gets a tiny little you know, winter hat, and he's very, very cute. And it's still not it. He's appeared in Twitter artwork and also Find Kirby, and in both of those cases, they have shown him to be related with shaved eyes, which is really adorable. I guess he just really loves shaved eyes, and he sells them. He even has like a little like ice shaver machine that looks like him. Isn't that the best thing ever? I just love it so much. Also, something interesting for I guess the freaking Popstar economics. One shaved ice costs 50 star points.
Alright, so I'm gonna cut this first part here, because from now on I wanna divide every game I tackle into like main enemies and then the allies and the final bosses. And it feels like perfect because that way it's gonna be like half an hour each video. So it's a better way to like space things out. Also, I am now editing in a tablet because like my computer was really bad at stuff. So next time I upload, the things will change again. Like no more square side and circle side. I can point now. So but yeah, I do want to, now that I can edit more frequently, I hopefully will make more videos. Yeah, I guess see you next video. Also, you might have noticed that I dropped the little like PNGs of my Sona like talking, which I love those things, I really do. But they do make this a lot more time consuming, and the way I wanted to do this more frequently is just I've been having a very busy life. But like in a positive way. Normally when people say that, it's like a bad thing, but no, it's been wonderful. I love being outside and I have a lot of friends. But I do have less time to be inside and do like this. So yeah, the PNGs like took out a lot of my time, and I think I'm gonna reserve them to shorts, because I also do want to like start doing shorts. That might be interesting. So for those I can do the PNGs. But yeah, for this like long format videos, I'm definitely gonna cut it out. But well, hopefully you still see the little aphid Kirby at the beginning, so that's fine. And as always, thank you for listening to my ramblings. I do really miss like talking about, just hearing myself talk about enemies. It's like kind of fun. Like, man, I really love creatures, huh? So I really like doing this, and I do want to do it more frequently. So thank you so much.